First off, Adam 22, I seen the video, man. The shit was, it was something. You know what I mean? Of course, you know his wife is hot as hell. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just to see her was, you know, it's cool, you know. But I did it for scientific purposes, you know what I mean? Just to, like, you know, see what the uproar is about. And to be honest, I mean, outside of, you know, dude being, I guess, well endowed, I mean, it returns. For anybody that's ever had a kid, you know that it doesn't necessarily stay the way it did. It opens up to a certain size and it goes back to normal. For lesser man, you might have a little issue with it because from the gate you probably wasn't really big enough to satisfy them anyway. But you know, for other men that might be a lot more willing down, you know what I mean? It's nothing. Now, the thing I don't understand is why are people so up in arms about his wife? Like it's kind of like you can give your opinions, that's fine. You know what I mean? But some of you are so emotionally distraught over the fact that he allowed some dude to black his wife. Like, it bugs you. But I know some of it because you leave hints of why you're upset. And the simple fact that he's white, she's basically white, and to see like a black man put it down is somehow harms your sensibility, seeing that I mean, a lot have been inferior as far as that for a long ass time. I mean, don't worry, they got pumps now and they got certain pills that'll pump your shit up. They even got surgeries now, so you can be like your friendly neighborhood black man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's no shot at anybody, but it's just so it's just so funny to see dudes having like mental meltdowns of, and it's crazy because it's not even a gang of white dudes that are bothered by this, other races that I just can't really understand for the love of me why you would be so upset at it. Like, if you think your girl was a fucking, you know, if you think your girl was like a virgin before you met her, you have to be an absolute idiot. A lot of you have married chicks that have been ran through a million times. Like, there's some chicks I know, you know, trains have been ran on them, but now you're married to certain people, so we'll just keep it to ourselves, you know what I mean? But that's besides the point, you know what I mean? We don't kiss and tell, but, you know, I just really don't get it. Why dudes are so upset at it? Like, dude made money off of it. Dude was at the top of his game. She's at the top of her game. It's a money move. And maybe she did want to experience some BBC. There's a lot of chicks out there that actually want to experience BBC, but they really don't want to have their people look down on them. And then eventually, you know, they skis on the low. There's a lot of chicks right now that people be like, oh, she would never touch a BBC. But if you only knew how many are actually out there getting piped down. And yeah, the reason she returned home and her shit was kind of floja is because she just got her shit destroyed by a BBC. You know what I mean? A gorilla, like whatever you want to call them. You know what I mean? No matter how many derogatory terms you think of, it don't matter. The glizzy is pipe long. We Magnum wearers. You know what I mean? And just deal with it. It's as upsetting as it is. It's just, we just been known to just do what we do. But, you know, I'm just gonna say this. Adam 2012, man. 2012. Adam 22, man. Do whatever the hell you want to do. At the end of the day, these cats that are up in arms and upset would jump on the chance to smash your wife. Like, honestly, if I wasn't in certain situations, I'd be trying to vie for that shit too. Not that I'm anybody, but as an old man that sees something of that nature, you know what I mean, like Kazumi, you know what I mean, like you would jump at it if you didn't, you know, certain things weren't the way they are. But, you know, I won't even put myself in the situation. I'm just saying that at the end of the day, whoever's making videos for content, that's fine, you know what I mean. Your opinion's your opinion. It's on social media, you got the right to speak on it because they put themselves out there in the media. But for the people that are really upset at the fact that he did that with his wife and he made a money move, and maybe he might not be all right with it, maybe he might be hurting inside and low-key on the verge of doing something to himself, you know, hopefully that's not the case, that he is really in fact really with the swinging, you know what I mean, back in my days, you know what I'm saying, a cuckoo is not a new thing, dog. They've been around for a long time. And for the cats that's out there, you know, them bulls, you already know what time it is, you know what I mean? It's like sometimes they're unable to satisfy their chicks, so, you know, certain individuals got to step up. Them bulls, you know what I'm saying? young bulls at that, and put the smash down. Some cuckolds like Forduce do a lot of things to their wife because they're either unable to do it or they just get off on it. But that's not the bull's fault. It's not the dude Love's fault. That's, you know, and it's not even Adam's fault. If he chooses to go that route, that's his choice as a man. Like, that's his property. That's his woman. They do sex shit on camera, so it's not like it's anything new. Like, dudes get so involved on this social media that they forget at the end of the day they're just a fucking ghost in the dark. You're talking from a keyboard. Nobody really pays attention to what you say. Like, I know some people's intentions is to outright hurt the dude. They want to humiliate him, but it's like, dude, his wife just got smashed by BBC. If that ain't gonna humiliate him, ain't nothing you say gonna humiliate. Because at the end of the day, the millions is talking a lot more than your voice is. Like, for the most part, cats can say what they want, but dudes just drown it out. It's just simple as just block. You're not putting the thing cats need to learn is if you're not putting no money in his pocket, I don't care if you subscribe to her OnlyFans or not. Obviously, you're on there because you're a freak and you want to see some, you know what I mean? Because a lot of you, I mean, you didn't watch fucking Adam 22 pipe her down, so it's like, what, because that's her husband, it changes? No, it's still, she's doing it on the internet. It's just, dudes are upset because it was a BBC that broke her open. Not no anything else, but it was a fucking BBC that fucking destroyed her. I know some fools are probably looking at the video and just feel like they just hate it just because they're like, damn, this fool, you know, walking around with fucking glizzy and I'm just over here working with a fucking wiener. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's just the way it is. God intended certain things to go certain ways. So, you know, you can't be upset at it. Just either do better or get out the way. That's it. But yeah, Adam 22, man, get yours, man. Fuck it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, criticism is criticism. But laugh all the way to the bank. And if you notice, Elena the plug, she ain't changed. She's still going to do what she do. Why? Because it's money. She had on her business, her family going to be happy. It's crazy because I just seen a chick, like, people were on her when she first started on TikTok. She wasn't really doing nothing, just showing like occasionally cheek shots, you know, in her pants. And then she finally just like crossed over the OnlyFans, and people were like, oh yeah, you know, she does things with her husband, but they're like, oh yeah, you know, what is your kid and this and that. But like, man, I don't know if you're paying attention to the way society is now. That shit is lightweight compared to the shit that's being shown. You know what I mean? And I think some cats would rather see some pedophilia than to see a righteous woman get smashed on. You know what I mean? It's like, at the end of the day, Adam 22 has to live with her. He has to lay with her, and he's laying just fine. Because if pressure really was what it is, he would have just left. He got enough money to go forward without her. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, he ain't tripping, so why are you tripping? Don't be so invested. You know what I mean? Let it go. And be honest, a lot of you that's speaking on it would give half of your fucking right and left nut just to go up in there once, even if stick your little Peter in there. Like, you would forsake your marriage and your girlfriend of 25 years, your high school sweetheart, just to get a fucking taste of it. Some of you motherfuckers would lick her shit right after dude slide his dick out. Like, that's how fucking invested you are. Let it go. I'm 22, man, and yours. I'm your boy Zod, and I don't care who don't like it. I just call it how I see it. What the fuss about?